Yo, let's talk about books, right? So books. So people ask me why do I not have a book? Because I'm lazy. Because I didn't want to put the work in to do it. That's why. I didn't want to put the money in to do it. That's why. But also I read a lot of books and I read a lot of books and like now it's people that make 100 books off of Chat GPT. Before that, 100 books off of jokes and like I don't know, like just making books, right? So like I started with Donald Goins, right? I didn't start with him. I think the first book that I ever read was The Outsiders, right? And then my dad countered The Outsiders with a black book called The Durango Street Gang. And the thing about The Outsiders that caught my attention was I was in a library class. Meaning like we was in the library, but we had classes in the library, right? So we didn't have enough space. So like you could just pull a book off anywhere. And I just pulled the book off the shelf one day and it was The Outsiders. And I used to get high in school. So, I didn't want to seem high. So like I would pull a book off the shelf and act like I read it. Act like I'm reading it, but I really just be in the daze thinking, listening to what everybody's talking about. Just acting like I'm reading, pulling it over, whatever. As time went on, people started thinking that I was actually a reader, which was funny to me because I wasn't reading shit. You feel me? I just didn't want to seem high, so I pulled the book off the shelf and I act like I was reading it. I was looking for pictures, but we was in a library and there wasn't that many picture books. You feel me? So I said, all right, well, whatever. Since this how you want to play me, since this how y'all want to do, cool. But one day, I pulled the book off the shelf and I said to myself, I said this when I was smoking the weed too. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I said, man, when I go in there, I'm gonna actually read a book. So when I went in there, I pulled the book off the shelf and I started reading. And that book happened to be The Outsiders. hmm I knew nothing about it. Even after I read it, I knew nothing about it. I just knew that it was a book about some young niggas doing some shit while they was white guys, whatever. But niggas is niggas to me. But to y'all might think niggas is only black people. But to me, niggas is anybody that's a man, for real, for real. But anyway. But it was like some young niggas out there doing their thing, trying to get their money, right? Trying to live their life, and they got into a beef. Trying to have love, and they got into a beef. You feel me? So and I enjoyed that, and I read the whole book. And like when I got to the end of the book, my dad stopped me one day. He was like, "Yo, what you doing with that book?" Because I was carrying it everywhere. Like I was carrying it, And like my dad saw me, and he was like, "Yo, what's up with that book?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, you know what? The first book that I ever read was the Durango Street Gang." So I said, "All right, the Durango Street Gang. What the fuck is that all about?" You feel me? All right. and remember I was in the library, so I went to the library class and I looked up the Rango Street Gang. I don't know if I asked the teacher or not, or if I looked it up or not, but I found that book right in the library. What's up? How y'all feel? So I found the book in the library and I'm reading the book. I'm like, yo, like the Durango Street Gang is the same thing that the Outsiders was, but now it's more hood. So I'm like, oh shit, like books actually talk hood because all the books that they told us to read was all proper English. All proper English. Like that shit get boring after a while. But once I'm reading slang terms and books, I'm like, wow. So like my pop put me on, right? So after that I started reading books. I, like girls in class got books. I'm like, what book you got? She like, it's called Truth to the Game. And I read that book, Truth to the Game. I hold it. I'm like, I like this book. It was from somebody made in Philly. It was about in Philly, right? And and then I just kept going on. You know, any girl I saw reading a book, I would ask them, "Can I read that book?" But what happened was me, because I would be on the trains, I'd be walking down the streets, I put it in my pocket. Every time when I get a book back to the females, it would look crazy, crazy puppet ears and things I wanted to save and shit, right? And they would, and then it got to a point where all the women talk, all the girls talk, right? And they started telling each other like, "Don't let Will hold your book because he's not gonna give it back in the proper, the proper way. It's gonna be crazy when you get your book back." So when I go ask to hold the book, I'm like, "Yo, oh, what book you reading?" "Oh, I'm reading Truth to the Game 2." "Yo, I read Truth to the Game 1. Can I hold it?" "No, you cannot hold it. I heard what you do to books. Bye." Like, damn. So then I'm like, so then where did y'all get these books from? Because at this point, the books that I'm reading are called like urban novels and type things and stuff like that, and they're not in my school's library. Like the females put me on. I'm hooked to what the females got me on to, right? Which is why they say like the females is what make music, right? You know what they like is what you like, and it is what it is, right? And they should like you. But this is the thing, right? So I asked them where do I get the books from, and they tell me where they get the books from. And my homies see me reading books, and my homies tell me where to get the books from. And so then I start Black and Nobel Horizons in the gallery, and Hakeem's on 52nd Street. So it's easy to go to the gallery Horizon. I go there, I get my books from it's a lady. Sometimes it's two ladies, sometimes it's either or. But I do my thing. I get some books, and now I got my own books, and I'm sharing them with them. And so now they sharing them with me, even though they still get the books back. And when they get the books, they crazy. But it is what it is because now I'm also purchasing some books. They telling me what books to buy now because I don't mess their books up. They like, "Ew, we'll get Fly Girl." Shout out to Fly Girl, by the way. I did meet Omar Tyree in real life later on in life. But Fly Girl was a book that a female told me to get. She was like, "Yo, get Fly Girl." I'm like, "You hype? You want me to get Fly Girl? Like, what is that about?" She's like, "Yo, get it, get it, get it." So I got Fly Girl. I gave it to her first. She read it, and then she gave it to me. I read it, and then I gave it back to her. Right? And so that was the plan after that. Like the women would tell me what books to get. I would give them the book, the new book, right? So peep game, right? That's how they would play me. So I would go buy a brand new book that they would tell me to buy, give it to them. They would give me an old book that they already read, right? I would read that book that they gave me, give that book back. Then they would give me, and sometimes they would be like, "I want that book back," and I keep it. And then they would give me back my book that I gave them brand new. I would read, right? And then when I was done reading it, I would give it back to them, and then they would keep it. I should have signed my name, like, bitch. I read this book. Like, what you talking about, like? So that's how it would go. So I do remember like a lot of Jones. So I do want to say like Donald Goins is one of the first. If y'all want to leave a message, leave a message. Yeah. So I want to say Donald Goins is one of the first books that really caught me, really caught me. And then the fact that he had so many was also a thing that caught me. And I realized he was like the Tupac of writing books. You know what I mean? Tupac made a bunch of songs and then he died. and his songs came out and was still prevalent after he died. And Donald Goines' books is the same thing. He made a whole bunch of books when he was alive, and then he died. But his books still remain supreme. He's actually the second person to actually ever make a urban novel. The first person, his name was Robert Beck, aka Iceberg Slim. Right. So if you ever want to hear, you ever want to read the first hood book, the first hood novel is called Iceberg Slim by Robert Beck. Right. That's the first one ever. Ever. Then Donald Goines read that book, made his own books. Then other people made their own books, and then everybody. And then you got a whole genre of what some people I call ghetto brown books. Some people call jailhouse books because like that's just what people read in jail, but that's what people read in college. That's what people read everywhere. Like in high school, you know what I mean? Like when you start reading and you from the hood or you just want to understand what's going on. Cause I read books from not just the hood, like from other places that helped me understand other places, you know. I can't necessarily think of them right now, but I'm just saying, like, I definitely did on purpose. Like, I'm like, and stuck. I was stuck in UK, like UK lingo, UK books, and all this. Oh my gosh, UK urban novels, which I don't want to say came from Donald Goines because then again, Donald Goines might have got his writing from. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say that. But I just want to say like I don't know because we do know how like Marvin Van Peebles, right, like how he did the directing thing, like when he was a director, like Marvin Van Peebles, like he got his shit from like over in France or somewhere like that for real because they didn't want the black people to do stuff or whatever. But anyway, Donald Goines, he actually was like 13, 16 and joined the army when he was a kid. Came back to the hood with money. So he experienced all of the things that people with money go through in the hood. People with money in the hood go through being on drugs, being selling drugs, being a pimp, being prostituted out, being this, being that. So he wrote all of the stories that he saw that he was involved in, and mainly the ones that he was involved in is what I want to say, but allegedly I don't want to say because like I don't really want to try to like hurt him and shit like that because you know that's my guy and shit. But I just want to say like overall like it wasn't all bad, but it wasn't all good. You know what I mean? But anyway, but if y'all don't know who Donald Goines is, look him up. Damn, it ain't no fucking I'm like, where the fuck is my lighter at? Yo, I did not know where my lighter was, bro. Like, I was like, where the fuck is my lighter? Like, oh, it's a storm going on right now, bro. It's a whole storm. It's a storm, bro. Bro, it's a whole storm, bro. I don't even know if you don't know if it's a whole storm, bro. You hear the storm? Bro, it's a whole storm, bro. For real, bro. Y'all niggas crazy, bro. Yo, mind your business. But yeah, I found my lighter. Oh my gosh, I gotta do so much stuff today. I gotta go all the way to West Philly. Oh my gosh. Yo, I got an event on the 29th. But guess what though? I just got my candles. I got my soap. I got my $2 bills. So when I go and vend on the 29th, it's going to be good. Watch. Wait until it. Just watch this live right here and then go back. Just go back and be like, oh shit, like what the fuck? He really did that shit. Like watch. Cause I'm gonna go live there. I might not go live here, but I'm gonna go live there, but at the same time, I'm gonna have some type of video shit. I just got this new video camera, y'all. This is a body cam. I just got a body cam, yo. I mean, before I brought it, I was like, yo, I still got a fucking GoPro in my house. Like, you feel me? Like, but I just want the body cam. Like, let me get a body cam. Like, cause yo, I don't want no fucking cops to fuck with me. And from what I hear, when you got body cams, cops leave you alone. Real shit. I'm gonna keep it real. But me being a vlogger, right? Sometimes it's overwhelming when I come in the building with my phone out. You feel me? Because they know I'm taping sometimes. Like, so now if I can come in the building with a body cam, it's crazy. I get so much. Watch how it happens. Yes. But yeah, let me tell you though. I even when I used to have my camera, I used to have my camera hanging from my necklace, right? Hanging from a chain. Even when I did that and I would get people talking shit, if they would talk shit that wasn't supposed to be heard, I wouldn't put that shit up there. And I probably deleted it, like for real, for real. Like I wouldn't keep it. Like, oh my gosh, let me keep this just in case one day. Like no, like I just if it wasn't some real shit, then I delete. Like they like, oh fuck that bitch, I don't really like her for real. And I'm walking by with my camera and I hear that shit, I delete that shit later. Like I'm not about to put that shit out there. But oh trust me, I done heard some shit with my camera. So now that I got my body camera, right, I'm really gonna be out there in the streets. Tonight we gotta go to the performance, y'all. hmm But that's not what we was talking about. Yo, what's up? Welcome in, welcome friend. Yo, but that's not what we was talking about though. We was talking about life in general, trying to be not to just be a mineral. But anyway, stay blessed like the rest, and I love y'all. I'm about to leave. So before I go, I just want you to believe everything that you know, and to know everything that you hear. Believe half of what you see is an Eve, and half of what is there, we are swimming, living on a prism. There's a collide of frequencies, and the only way to get everybody on the same rhythm is to take away the secrecies. In the meanwhile, peace.